Welcome to Pakistan. We're Luke and Sabrina, and today is day 4 of our tour here in Pakistan with Manaky. The plan for today is to head to a traditional village in the countryside to have a Punjabi village feast. And then after that, we're gonna head to the capital city of Islamabad. We're gonna grab a little breakfast, something called Hareesa, before we hit the road to the village. So on one side of the street is the restaurant that's serving the Hareesa, which is a pounded meat and wheat mixture that he fries up and then mixes in quite a bit of desi ghee. And then on the other side of the street, they have a kind of automatic conveyor belt naan making machine that it's just pumping out these naans, and that's what we're gonna eat the Hareesa with.
So here in Pakistan, they actually call naan kulcha in the morning when they cover it in all these sesame seeds. So this is actually kulcha with tons of black and white sesame seeds, or maybe they're actually just white sesame seeds that have been toasted, I think. And over here we have the Hareesa. So there's lots of lentils, lots of bone marrow, there's mutton, and then wheat as well. And then he's covered it in probably like 1.5 inches of ghee, desi ghee. So you can see this super thick consistency. And actually we had something very similar to this called haris in the UAE. But let's give this one a try. The ghee is really strong. There is a little bit of spice inside and masala, but it's very light on flavor. This is more of like a energizing breakfast here in Punjab. It's kind of goopy, but really, I love the kulcha. It's so, so good.
That's a heavy breakfast. It's like the desi porridge. Lots of ghee on there. Before we hit the road to the village, there is a special type of tea called Kashmiri chai that we want to try at this famous little shop right here. Kashmiri chai is a very famous Pakistani winter drink, and it's characteristic by its pink color, which they originally achieved by boiling down green tea leaves for hours and hours and hours until it actually starts to turn a little bit red. So he's using milk and green tea, and then he actually mixes in a little bit of cardamom powder and then sugar. And the interesting thing here is that he's using salt too. So it's sweet and salty. And I love the shop. It's a 40-year-old shop, and he's got all hand-painted signs and menu. We're gonna get one of the very first cups of Kashmiri chai of the day. Kashmiri chai has been served. You can see that deep pink color, and the way that he serves it is he takes a little bit of the froth from the milk, puts it on top almost like a cappuccino, and then sprinkles a little bit of crushed almonds and pistachios on top of that. And as I mentioned, there's salt and sugar inside of this. Let's give it a try. Oh my. That is heaven in a cup. That is the perfect drink. It's balanced with the sweetness and the saltiness. I know it might sound weird that there's salt in it, but it really, really works well, and it's what makes this drink really good. And then you get frothy, crunchy from the almonds. That is like my favorite drink I think I've ever had. Oh man, I gotta learn to make this at home. We've driven about maybe 45 minutes outside of Gujranwala. We've made it to the village. Lots of kids here. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Hello, Tico. Hello. Hello. So we're seeing all the different animals they have here. They've got chickens, lots of cattle, some goats, and they even have this baby, only 4 days old cow here. They've got an entire farm out back here with lots of different greens growing, and I think we're gonna pick some ingredients for what we're gonna have for lunch today. They've got some radishes growing here, and they've asked me to pick one for them, so I guess this one is ready to go. Oh yeah, nice radish.
Gracias.
They just used a donkey to bring in some fresh grass that they are cutting up using a machine. That will be the feed for all their animals. It's quite a traditional way of life here on the countryside of Punjab. Go on. Say cheese. So we were told that for some of the people here, we're the first foreigners they've ever seen. So I'm guessing the drone is gonna definitely be the first drone they've ever seen. So a full-blown party just broke out here in this Punjabi village. There was drumming, like the deepest kind of thunder-sounding drums I've ever heard, and lots of dancing, people throwing money, people spinning around in circles. They had some moves, and that music was insane. We've heard a lot of traditional musics from around the world, but I honestly think that that was probably the best sounding one I've ever heard. And incredible dance moves. Wow. This guy, you had all the moves.
Yeah.
You're a good dancer. Good dance. Yeah. So the show is finished. That was absolutely incredible. And they just brought out these, which are called char pie, which means 4 legs. And it's kind of like a traditional bed here in Pakistan. I think we're going to be eating on them. And I think that it's almost time to eat lunch. How was the show?
Oh, that was one of the coolest experiences. The music was amazing. Dancing was awesome. That was really fun.
Lunch is served. We've got some saag, which is spinach that's been kind of pureed and mixed with a lot of spices, and this is Manaky roti, which is a corn bread, corn roti. I'll go for a little dip in the saag and give it a try. Yum. It's like super, super creamy spinach, and it's definitely not spicy. It's just got a natural flavor to it. And then you can tell that that's made with corn. It's got a corn flavor to it, the Manaky roti. Nice and crispy too at the same time. Served nice and piping hot right here in the village with the cows in the background. Let's go for one more bite. That is actually really, really yummy. I love the saag. It's super creamy. This is some serious village food, Punjabi village food. And we've got quite the audience watching us here. Assalamu alaikum. And that's it for the village. What an experience. They've really been extremely hospitable to us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So we're off to the capital, Islamabad. Allah Hafiz. So after about a 6-hour drive, we made it to the capital city of Pakistan, Islamabad, and we don't have too much time to explore tonight because it's getting quite late. We've come to a very famous restaurant though called Savor Foods, and they serve basically only one thing, and that's the pulao. So we're going to order that up and have that for dinner tonight. So our pulao has arrived. We've got this, which is shami kebab, which is minced beef with lentils and fried up, and then a nice piece of chicken over here too. I'm gonna try to break off a piece of the chicken. And pulao is different than biryani because it's actually cooked in the broth with minimal spices, so it's a little bit less tame, or more tame I should say, than biryani. Let's try it out. The rice is significantly less oily than most biryanis that I've tried. There's definitely still flavor, but it is more subtle. Chicken actually is a little bit dry. But let's try out the shami kebab, the beef kebab with the lentils here, which is a really interesting texture. Try that. The shami kebab has a really interesting dry minced texture to it. It's somewheres in between being just like a hamburger and being like a vegetable patty. And it goes really nice with the rice actually. And I can't say it's my favorite
rice dish that I've had so far in Pakistan, but it is definitely hearty and a nice way to finish off our day here in Pakistan.
Quick little dinner to cap off the day here in Pakistan. I want to say a massive thank you to Manaky for sponsoring our trip here in Pakistan. They've been an abundance of knowledge and help for our trip here, and we definitely couldn't have done it without them. If you want to book some tours in Pakistan or visit for yourself, check them out, Manaky, down in the description box. So what was the best thing we had today, Sabrina?
Definitely the sog. It was so delicious. The best version I've tried. Very tasty. And the whole village experience was amazing.
I'd have to say it was the Kashmiri chai.
Oh.
That was on another level. I think I gave it to chai 2 times now on this trip.
Have.
I'm just loving the chai here in Pakistan. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed, hit the bell icon so you're notified when we post another video, and we'll see you again on another episode of Chopstick Travel. Bye-bye.
Bye.